Megan Foster learned a brutal truth: you can build a kingdom for a man, and he'll still complain about the way you hold the bricks. The freeloading ends today. Luke didn't yell. He said it with the cold, calculated tone he used for corporate layoffs. They stood in their Chicago kitchen, a home Megan had spent 6 years perfecting. The air still smelled like the rosemary chicken she'd just cooked for him. Luke had just been promoted. New suit, shiny shoes, and a massive ego boost from his mother, Patricia. He wanted financial independence. He wanted a 50-50 split. He thought he was cutting off a burden. What Luke didn't know: he wasn't the king of the castle. He was a guest in a house Megan built with her blood, sweat, and secret income. And Megan, she didn't fight. She just smiled, placed a drying plate on the rack, and whispered, "Okay." To the world, Megan was just a teacher. A simple job. A steady paycheck. That was the lie Luke told himself. That was the story his mother, Patricia, loved to whisper in his ear. But behind the scenes, Megan was a ghost. While Luke slept, she ran an elite tutoring business. Wealthy CEOs paid her more for 1 hour of work than Luke spent on his country club membership. She poured every cent into their joint account. Quietly. No applause. No ego. But Megan didn't just provide the money. She provided the life. She was the reason his suits were always clean, the fridge was always full, and his mother's birthday was never forgotten. Luke thought these things just happened. 2 days later, at the bank, the deal was signed. 50-50th split. Then, the quiet war began. The next morning, Luke woke up to the smell of coffee. But there was only one mug on the counter. Megan's. Dinner. Megan cooked for one. If Luke wanted food, there was a box of frozen pasta and a grocery receipt waiting for him. The shared spreadsheet Megan created was a masterpiece of petty revenge. Toilet paper, split. Dish soap, split. Internet, split. Within a week, Luke was drowning. He ruined his $200 shirts because he didn't know how to separate colors. He spent $300 on groceries that didn't even make a full meal. He was exhausted. Not corporate tired. Existing tired. He called her a freeloader. But now he was paying a premium just to breathe in his own house. The breaking point came when Luke's sister, Lydia, came for dinner. She walked into a house that smelled like failure. No roast. No wine. Just Luke, looking disheveled. Trying to explain why his wife was reading a book in the other room while he struggled to boil water. Lydia didn't hold back. "You and Mom told the woman who runs your entire life that she was a burden. Luke, you're an idiot." That night, Megan handed him a folder. Secret tutoring income, $400,000, she began. Extra housing costs, $48,000. The bill for my invisible labor over 6 years. $200,000. "I didn't know," Luke whispered. "No," Megan replied. "You just didn't look." Luke tried to change. He started cleaning. He started standing up to his mother. He apologized. 6 months later, he thought they were rebuilding. He got another promotion. He came home to tell Megan, ready to suggest they go back to a joint account. But the kitchen was empty. No smell of rosemary. No Megan. On the table was a single envelope. Inside wasn't a bill. It was a notice of intent to sell. You see, Luke forgot one small detail in his 50-50 obsession. The apartment. The down payment had come from Megan's secret tutoring money. She had owned the majority of the equity all along. The last text he received from her read, "I've spent 6 years carrying you. I've spent 6 months watching you try to carry yourself. You're getting better, Luke. But you're not there yet. I'm moving to the house I bought while you were busy counting pennies. Don't call." Luke sat in the dark, in a house that was no longer a home, realizing that the freeloader had just evicted him from her life. But as he stared at the empty room, he noticed something. Megan had left the folder open on the last page. A page he hadn't seen before. It wasn't a receipt. It was a DNA test result for a child he didn't know existed. Dated 3 months ago. And at the bottom, a final note: some secrets are too expensive for a 50-50th split.